Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Rush Racing Division 6. I am your main host, Dynasty Sparrow, and I'm with the man, the myth, the other comms, SJ. How are you going, mate?
Hey Dynasty, mate. How you going? How's things?
Good, mate. Looking forward to this race. It should be a good one. We've had different winners each week. Last week came to a nail-biting finish right at the death.
Yeah, definitely. As you saw my little story today put in the Division 6 chat, it was a nail-biting finish, bit of a photo finish there, David taking out the win. And yeah, it's another division which has got three different winners. Is it going to be a fourth tonight? You know, this is a track that we've seen extremely over the space of the weekend across all divisions. It's very, very powerful on the toe in quali. And also the DRS in the race can be a bit of a pain to make the overtake. So these guys are going to have patience. But also there's a lot of pens as well, isn't there? Got a few quali bans and a few penalties going into this race from a few drivers.
Yeah, there certainly is. There's a couple that's in this race that have got the pens, but there's a couple that have also missed. So their pens will carry over to our next race. But we've got a full grid tonight, so it's going to be very exciting to see where everyone finishes and yeah, see if we can get a little bit cleaner of a race this week compared to last. But other than that, it's looking like dry skies here in Bahrain.
Yeah, looking really, really nice. Nice night for it. Yeah, really, really good to see 20 drivers. This division has been very, very a surprise for me. Obviously a division going into it, you know, early days, and a little bit of a worry about obviously some of the racecraft and people trying to pick it up. But it's the highest viewing league division of the league, which is great to see. You would think that Div 1 would be the pinnacle, but apparently Div 6 is overriding that. But I think we've got some really good battles in here. Like just a quick bunch of names just to go over. We've seen Datora Iraq Lobster, aka obviously Datora. He's been pretty impressive lately. We've seen a very strong performance there from Thunderballs in Hungary, which literally just could not be beaten. We've seen Chevy Wolves at his best. We've seen Edge as well coming very, very close, getting podium podiums consistently each week, but does want that P1. We've seen China now with full-time seat in the Kicksale, but he's really pushing up the top. We've seen J-Man, who had a go last night, so he's got a little bit of an insight of what this track is going to give. We've seen Paul and Hal. We've then also seen David with his first time. So there's about 6 or 7 guys you see that can still really fight for the championship, and it's early days in round 4.
Yeah, it's really heating up, and yeah, by the end of it, it's probably anyone's game really. We've seen a lot, basically different people on podiums as well each week, and as we saw last week, David just kept it clean, kept it tidy, and bringing home P1. But also, I'd like to obviously thank our sponsor for tonight. It's AI369. There will be obviously links going out in the chat, so get involved, and also there will be Discord links going out in the chat as well. So if you're new to racing, come down, give it a shot, give it a try, and see how you go.
Yep, 100%. Who do we jump on board with first? Give me a name and I'll give you a flying lap.
I am on board with Lee at the moment because I think this is his first race, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he's been here all the other ones, so he's in the Haas at the moment, so he's setting his first banker lap. But we'll stay on board with him, and then we'll go on board with Peanut for his flying lap as he's about to start it. So I'll swap to him now, and you take it away, SJ.
Okay, so here we go, coming down the main straight, getting up to around about 8th gear, maximum speed down here, dropping into the 50, does he ride the curb coming out on the exit? No, very nicely there, pushes over to the left, rides the curb coming out on the exit now it's uphill, get that DRS, give it a little bit of a toe, no, not from the RB, pushes over to the left-hand side, dropping down to the 100, then to 50, getting onto the curb, very well there, lead setting the fastest lap with 130.740, and then got Woofer with a 129.655, still on board with Peanut in the Ferrari, who's had a bit of an interesting season so far, got involved in a few incidents, a big one in Monza, but we've seen that Ferraris last night were very impressive with Mudpack and Banglabar, so can it be the same tonight with Fish Lips and Peanut? But so far coming into Sector 2, the worst probably corner of the night down that hill in Sector 2, then getting on to the second part of the DRS, round up to the loop on the left hand side. Here it goes as J-Man sets the fastest lap with 129.181, very impressive by him, 5.5 times quicker than P2. Here we go, round the loop goes Peanut. Here we go, full acceleration all the way down here, burn a little bit of the ERS. Does he get a little bit of a toe? No, he doesn't get no toe off there. The car's moving out the way, very, very clever. Everyone for themselves on the first Q1. Off to the 50, onto the curb, trying to burn a little bit of ERS. Do not run out of deployment when you cross the line. 27, 28, and it's a 29 flat for Peanut, taking pole position currently.
Yeah, so really good lap from him. So we're on board with Chevy. I'm not sure if he'll have enough fuel in that tank to get around for a whole lap, so we'll stay on board with him as he's going to set his fastest lap. So I'm not sure if he was on a lap and then got impeded, because I did see him and the Aston kept swapping around. But yeah, he's been unfortunately involved in a couple of incidents throughout quali. He's just lost the back end, so he's now switching it to none, and that's his lap done and dusted. So we got White Wolf behind him on a lap. So Chevy Wolf gets off the track, gets out the way. So White Wolf has had a purple sector 1, but that's because it's his first lap out. Goes into sector 2, gets it really good. He's got a lot of battery still to play with. It's basically that green line. You want to have enough in that tank right to the line. If you use too much of it, you will get that DRS deployment used, which we did see a lot last week, and unfortunately a lot of drivers lost a lot of time right at the death of the final straight. As he gets that going into sector 3, perfect, comes down the back straight in 7th, goes up to 8th. Every car's getting out of the way, which is really good to see. It's a massive improvement to what we got during the pre-season. He's coming down the line. He's still got enough battery, but will it get the deploy used? It does, but it probably only loses him about not even a tenth with a 129.934.
Yeah, still quite a few people to set times at the moment, Dynasty, but top 5, all completely different cars. Actually, top 6. There you go, into top 5. and top 6 all different. You've got a RB, you've got a Kick, you've got an Alpine, you've got a McLaren, you've got a Haas, and you've got a Ferrari at the top. Is this a track that we're seeing this weekend for Ferrari? Obviously, we saw a very, very impressive performance last night for Bangladesh as well, and Mudpack for a period of time, and we're seeing it again. Ferrari of pole position. Is this a track for Ferrari? Do you think this weekend for Bahrain?
Potentially. I know I was watching Div 5 last night, but unfortunately both Ferraris were battling each other instead of trying to work together to get to that lead. So that cost them. So, but maybe tonight we can see them both working together and see if they can actually pull away from the group. But this grid is looking close. I know China is pretty quick on his day. We've also got a newcomer in Brainy. He is a reserve, so he's filling in for the Kick Sauber. We've also got Coop on Sticks back in the Mercedes again for another reserve race, as unfortunately Ski has had internet issues this past week. But yeah, it's really good to see that we're filling the grid down here in D6 as Edge goes at 129.330.
So it's changing all the time, and we've also got Rat Lobster on a lap at the moment. We've also got David on a lap. We've got Cooper on a lap as well. We've also got the full time this weekend with Fader Menace and Sick Party as well in the Williams. They are full time now. This will be, I think there's one more race, and then we will be seeing another, I think, full time driver that's jumping in. I think that's in a different division, so I completely forgot who that is, but I think it's Uncle Morty in the Red Bull. Obviously, next week we'll probably see him in the Belgium Grand Prix. But tonight we are at Bahrain at the moment, and the two Red Bulls not doing too good. They haven't set a time at the moment. A very impressive week last week in Vegas, but at the moment, P17 and P20, one's in the pits and one is on an outlap. We've still got a Rack Lobster. He's done a purple in Sector 2. He is probably one of the favourites to win this division, but as we saw last week, very, very closely finished there between him, J-Man, and obviously David taking that photo finish, crossing the line. It sets a 129.6, doesn't get into the top fives. What's your thoughts to that, Dynasty from Iraq Lobster?
He's probably had a moment somewhere, or it might not be his favourite track, as we've seen a lot of drivers who are normally quick, unfortunately, either running into incidents or just not having the best of qualies this weekend. So it's interesting to see, as we see Chevy's now back on his outlap again. And David's on his lap, so we'll stick with David for the rest of his lap. So he'll be the next one to set a time. So what do you think the cutoff time will be for making it into Q2 tonight, SJ?
A mid 28s.
A mid 28s to make it into Q3, Q2. Sorry.
Oh, Q3.
No,
Q3.
Q2. No, Q2. So
Q2.
I think you'd have to be at least below 129.7. Just looking at the times, I think 129.7, and you should.
Yeah,
be
sorry,
safe.
I was looking at pole position. Sorry, it's been a long week.
David
yeah,
goes
no,
at 130.1.
Late 29s. It's pretty close at the moment between, obviously, there's a few guys in the 30s at the moment. You've got B11 all the way down to P15 in the 30s, 31 there. Bulldog is obviously going to have to pick up some pace there because it looks like he could be going out. It's going to be getting into the 30s. Cooper on Sticks as well. He's 3 seconds off a 30 at the moment. Chevy Wolves has obviously gone completely wrong there with a 149. So I don't know if he's gone on the bank hill or I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see.
Coop went up to 130.4.
Well, there you go. He's got himself out of the drop zone at the moment. But in the drop zone, 6 minutes to go, we've got Lee, Bulldog, Chevy, Fader Menace, who still has not set a lap, who is on a lap at the moment. And then we've also got Paul and Hell in the other Red Bull. One of those Red Bulls is up into P11, though. I'm sure that David will know he'll probably want to get a little bit higher than that, but he could be safe. But I still think, as what Dynasty said, the late 29s will be safe at the moment. We could see the 30s being safe as well, as Paul and Hill is just about to start his lap but Faded Menace is the last one to finish his lap before we probably get the second round of flying laps when everyone comes out of the pits.
Yeah, that's true. They're cutting it quite close now. Obviously going out for the laps. So Paul and Hell coming for his lap now. He's just started it, so he has to go down for another cool down lap as well. So that's at least 3 minutes taken off of the time that we're seeing right now. So will he be able to get back out again? That would be the question. I think he should be able to, but yeah, you'd be cutting it very, very close.
Yeah, definitely at the moment. Woofer doing a great job there. The other Alpine, I was just hearing it in the chats what the other Alpine's doing. One's in P6 and one's in P18. Vader Menace coming across the line. What's it going to be? Pushed himself into P14, just out of the drop zone currently at the moment. So it's all about Paul and Hal. Paul and Hal has got Noto in front, Noto behind, nothing at the moment. He's got full reins, 5 minutes to go. Let's have a look. We saw a very good performance last week from them, and they're normally very close together. We do not want to see a big name going out. Well, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. That's what it's all about in F1. 45 people tuning in tonight watching this on board. Paul and Hal coming around the last straight for the final corner to finish off his time. Is he going to put himself in the top 10 or is he going to put himself in the drop zone? Let's have a look. Here we go. Couple of seconds to go and he puts himself up. And there you go. As I said, Dynasty very close to his teammate in P11.
Yeah, very close, and that's at that 129.7 mark. So that potentially is safe, but you've got the likes of Chevy Wolves and David who won last week behind him. So I don't know if that will be safe, but he has to make it around the track and come back out again if he doesn't want to be at risk of being dropped out of the first qualifying.
Yep. It's they're really going to have to time at the moment as Milano does improve massively. Goes from a 130.7 or 130.6 to a 129.8. So a big improvement by him for the RBs up into P12. So P9 and P12 hits the curb there coming out the exit. A few guys coming out. Lee has decided to retire. Lee has decided to retire with 3 minutes to go. That is going to be a very interesting interview after Q1 Dynasty. Gone on mute. Ooh,
I certainly
that's
have.
a bit of a...
Sorry, that's my
Yeah.
bad. No, it's a very early retirement. If I was him, I probably would have went out again for one more lap and seen if you can just improve. Because, I mean, if you're going to get out anyway, you might as well just go your hardest and see if you can improve your time. As Dragon doesn't beat his time, and that maybe his run's over. Depends on how much fuel he's put in that car. As we see, I think that's Paul and Hell starting his final run. So this is where a lot of people, depending, I think the top 5, I think they're safe to just pretty much shut up shop.
Yep.
Especially with that one retirement. So as we see, as soon as I say that, Edge retires. But no, I still think that 129.7 is basically the time to get into Q2.
Here we go as White Wolf is just about to start. Still enough time though. Still a lot of time left in quali at the moment. 2 minutes to go. Still, people can still get a couple. Well, even one more fly in at the moment. Lee retiring at P19 is a bit of an interesting one actually, especially with 3 minutes to go when he did retire. So he still had plenty of time. To try and push, and obviously look at the difference between the two teammates at the moment. You've got Lee Simon down there in P19 and J-Man in P3, and J-Man's already done this track, so J-Man could be one to watch out for tonight for the win. This is still early days, we're still in Q1 at the moment, but we've got 1 minute 40 to go. Bulldog at the moment is going out of quali. In Q1, Sick Putty has just left the session, very unfortunately, even though he's P2, so good for him at the moment. He's not going to need to go again, but we'll try and get him an invite back.
Or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll have a look for you.
Paul and Hell does improve. He goes up to P7, so this is pushing drivers closer and closer to that drop zone. We've got a massive train of drivers coming up. There's a Mercedes, a McLaren, I think that's an Alpine in between them. So Bulldog's on his final run now as well. He's on his hot lap, so we'll stay on board with him, see if he does improve.
Just needs to let me know when he's online again, and then I can then send him an invite. Do have him
Okay,
as
so
a
he will
friend.
get through though, Sick Party, so that's good. At least he has set his lap. So we'll get him in even once we see all these times come in. So we've got a huge train happening here of bit of a DRS train which is about to happen. So Bulldog's coming to the line. Will he improve his time? It is looking likely, but unfortunately he does not. He still has enough battery though to try one more time. But everyone behind him is on a lap as well, so let's see if they can get it done. So Coop is on his lap. So is Brainy. We'll stay on board Brainy. This is his final attempt to get out of the bottom 5. How you going, Rapid, mate? You going good? So currently the people in
Well,
the drop-off are Faded, Brainy, Dragon, Lee, who has retired, and Bulldog.
Dragon's out.
And
Dragon
Dragon's
has
out.
invalidated. He is gone.
That is his
Brainy's in
one
serious
done.
trouble.
Can
Brainy's
Brainy
in trouble.
improve? He's coming to the line. Will it be high enough? 128, a 129, a 130. Does he improve? He does. He pushes Coop
Oh,
down one spot. Can Coop improve enough to get out of that drop zone again? He's right behind
Faded's
Bulldog.
coming around. Faded's crossing the line.
Faded
Faded
improves.
to
He
push
pushes
this.
Brainy out. David's close to that line as well. But we're on board with Coop, who's right behind Bulldog here. Can he improve on his lap? He just needs to get this good toe right to the finish line and just use any bit of battery he has left. It's going to be a 130. Oh, it's going to be 129, 970.
Oh,
Not enough.
no. He's gone.
And Bulldog does improve, but not enough as well. So there you have it. That is your top 15.
There you go. Very,
And
very
China
close there
puts
in
it
the
up to
quality.
P4.
Ah, lovely job. He's been very
Just
impressive
see
lately.
if I can get Sick Putty straight away in. Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
joined.
in. He's in.
He's in. He's in.
Yeah, he's joined in
We're
probably from
good.
his teammate. Oh, there you go. So Faded just getting through there. A 928 to Cooper's 970. Brainy, unfortunately, a 131.50. It's probably because just not done enough racing. He's just come back into the scene, which is really good to see. He's a returning driver as well, and he's a great guy. And he does get amongst the reserve program as well. So very unfortunate. And then we've also got Lee Simon with an early retirement, and then also Bulldog. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to jump in to the comms box and have a quick chat with us. We've got Lee Simon, Dragon, Brainy, Cooper Sticks, and Bulldog eliminated from Q1. Over to you, Dynasty, for the classification results.
Yeah, so we've got Peanut, who set the scorching time of a 128.8 for Q1 with Sick Party in P2, Thunderballs P3, China P4, White Wolf P5, J-Man Diego in P6, Iraq Lobster in P7, Edge in P8, Paul and Hell P9, and Woofer in P10 with David, Fish Lips, Chevy Wolves, Milano, and Fader Menace rounding out the top 15 with Coop, Brainy, Dragon, Lee, and Bulldog rounding out the rest as we are heading into Q2, but we do have someone. I'll just triple check who it is. We have Bulldog joining us. How'd your quali go, mate? Obviously, you
Uh,
improved that last lap.
I did improve the last lap, but yeah, I didn't really improve on that first lap or the second lap that I did. There was a bit of traffic in front of me. I was trying to get the tow from obviously Woofer, but he got messed up. I think it was just around turn 10, so he couldn't give me the tow for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because we know how big the toe is here, but at least you improve by every lap. That's always a good sign. But obviously, looking toward the race, what is your goal today? Are you just trying to maybe reach that top 10 or just try and get to points and see how you go?
I mean, alternatively, yes, get the top 10, but I mean, if I get the points, then that'll be a bonus. I'm trying to obviously better uh, my races every week. I mean, last week I finished P15, so obviously if I can try and get higher than P15, I'll be stoked.
Yeah, nah, that's good to hear. Good to hear. So I'll pass you on to SJ and see if he's got any questions for you, mate.
Yeah, Bulldog, unfortunate out of Q1. Obviously, strategy's going to change completely now. Obviously, you've got your teammate Woofer, which is really good to have him back. I think he drove yesterday as well, last night.
Yeah, he did.
So, what's the strategy going into the race? Because we've seen a medium, we've seen a soft, we've seen hards, but now obviously at the back you'll probably be going on the hard strategy. Is that correct?
Just maybe. I'm not going to give the strat away because yeah, there might be a few other drivers out there that maybe watching or listening, and yeah, I don't want to really give my strat away.
Okay. How do you feel about the track in itself, Bahrain? Are you a fan favourite? Do you enjoy the track?
I mean, I don't mind it. The hardest part is obviously turn one and turn 10. That obviously turn 10, the hairpin there. Yeah, if you've got too many drivers in front of you, of course, then maybe a little bit of collision will, but we hope not. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I wish you all the best, mate, and good luck in the race.
Thank you.
All right. So we're moving on. We'll go with Lee Simon. Are you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep. How'd your quali go? So we saw you did retire early. Was that just trying to save some tyres for the main race, or just felt like you couldn't really improve that much on your time? Walk us through.
Um, well, I had a brain fart. I had a invalidation for the next 2 laps, and I didn't realize going into the pits resets it. And I thought, oh well, I don't have enough time. I know I can go quicker, but I just couldn't do it. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna retire anyway. And yeah, it turns out that I could have just gone into the pits and kept going. So.
No, that's fair. So yeah, unfortunately, obviously not knowing that that actually does go away, that does obviously hurt your race a little bit. But obviously looking forward to the race. Your what's your goal for tonight? For you and the Haas boys.
Um, I think it's just the finish. My first race of the season, so I'm not really expecting too much. Yeah, just try to finish, try to get some points. That's all.
Yeah, it's good to hear. That's the main goal, is to try to get that points and see where it takes you. Because yeah, as I said, you never know. You just try and keep out of trouble, and you could end up on the podium. But wish you the best of luck, and I'll pass you over to SJ and see if he's got any questions for you, mate.
Hey, mate. Obviously, unfortunate tonight. Yeah, it was a little bit of a brain fart. We were thinking 3 minutes to go. You still had plenty of time, and you decided to retire. So, which is unfortunate. So you'll know for next time it is full quali. You got 3 sessions, and obviously the top 15. The top 15 go through, then the top 10. What's the strategy looking like in the Haas garage? I know that obviously at TP, you said you've not done much racing, and obviously this is your first race with us, so probably not the best goals for you tonight. It's probably like score points. Is that the case tonight? Just score points, get a good strategy, and do as better as you can.
Yes, yes, that's all. Just to finish, try to get some points, and that's all.
Okay. All right, we'll go away from Bahrain and talk about next week. Belgium's a track, obviously, which has got a very, very long straight. How are you feeling going into round number 5 next week in Belgium?
I'm
Preparation.
not too confident. I'm not really good with the long straights. I'm more of a technical person, so I think I'm gonna struggle at Spa. So yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best, mate. And yeah, good luck in the race.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
That's all right, mate. All right, we'll move over to one of our reserves in Brainy. How you going, mate?
Hi lads, how are we going?
Good, thanks, mate. Obviously knocked out a Q1, but not really obviously a big deal, because as we said, the race is pretty long. So obviously being a reserve driver, what is your focus tonight? Are you just going to try and help your teammate as much as possible, or are you going to try and see how far you can get up the grid and just go from there? Or how's your pace around here?
I'd say it's a combination of the two. Obviously, the priority is to try and get as many points for the team as possible. That's sort of the job for me tonight. As coming in as reserve, we got to help the team out as much as possible, even though I haven't got a full-time drive. And any way I can help China out as well. He's off to a really good start in qualifying. He qualified fourth in Q1, so I'd like to see him try and get up the grid as high as possible and sort of complement that and try and help him out, towards the back, and just being positive and keep going forward and get as many points as possible tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a good target to do. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck, mate. And I'll pass you over to SJ and see if he's got any questions for you.
Brainy, welcome back finally. Good to see you on the grid, mate. Obviously, you've been with us for a long period of time, in and out. Obviously, jumping into the reserve program, which is great. So, obviously, tonight you were very unfortunate. It was very, very close in the quality. Do you believe probably a little bit lack of practice in these probably qualifying sessions, which has probably caught you off guard a little bit, not going into Q2?
I think that's a fair assumption. I think, yeah, the lack of practice, it's just having so much time off the game, you sort of having to try and find your rhythm back, and I'm not quite sure I got that rhythm back yet. I still feel like I'm at least a second, if not more, off the pace I was sort of getting towards before I went off my extended break. So it's sort of a little bit of that, but also just making sure that I understand each track and understand each setup and trying to get back to a bit of a balance, I think. But either way, it's not a big deal, as you mentioned. It's sort of making sure that I'm in the race and winding up and trying to get as many points as possible. And you don't get points in the qualifying, get points in the race. So still staying optimistic, even though the qualifying didn't go to plan.
Yeah, and obviously with the new season, this season, full quali is implemented through that whole season, so it gives you an opportunity until obviously we get to the sprint races, and obviously it goes to short, and then 100% is a one shot. But most of the 50% race, well, all 50% races are now full quali, so it gives you more of an opportunity. So obviously next time you probably plan would be to get into Q2 and then just make it stage by stage, but getting some racing under your belt, which is probably the best for you tonight. I would say that with your TP for the night hasn't probably asked too much of you. Just go out there, try and score points and help China as much as you can.
That's exactly right. Yep, just to score as many points as possible, try and assist China as much as possible. As I was mentioned before, hopefully he's very much up the grid and doesn't need as much assistance, and he can score a lot of points for the team. But yeah, for me, it's about complementing the team and trying to get as many points and optimizing any mistakes that might happen during the race and trying to get up the leaderboard as much as possible.
Okay, well, honestly, Brownie, it's great to have you back on the track, mate, and I wish you all the best.
Right, thanks, lads.
It's all right, mate. Good luck. All right, we will move over to now the reserve Mercedes driver in Coupe. How you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm going good, guys. How about you?
Good, mate. So you look like you had the pace to put it into Q2. It did look like you got held up a little bit, but you were both on laps, unfortunately. So obviously we saw you out of Q1 last week, and you did score really good points. So is that the main goal again this week, and see obviously where the race takes you tonight?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I was just unlucky both laps at the same time. But I mean, it's like I'm in a good position, I reckon.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad starting at the back, especially here with turn one and sector one. Unfortunately, people do make rookie mistakes heading into there, and unfortunately tap the rear of someone else and cause an incident. But I'll pass you over to SJ, mate, and see if he's got any questions for you.
Reaper, it was a lovely welcome, mate. Welcome back. Good to see you on the grid, mate. You're obviously a brand new driver, which is really, really good to see, and good to see that these guys and yourself getting involved in obviously the league races and the reserve program. We've seen you reserve one race already. I think it was a P8 finish in Vegas.
Yeah, P8 finish, which I mean, to be fair with me, I'm surprised with my last performances with leagues. I reckon this league's my strong suit.
That's good. Good. I love it, mate. I love the support and the. I love that answer. That's a good answer. Every league is different. We've always got to say that every league is different on how it's run and races and obviously some of the drivers. But P8 is a really good start on your first race, and now going into Bahrain. How do you feel about the track? Are you happy with the track? Do you feel that some of the corners are going to cause you problems? Do you feel it's going to be? Do you feel that you're going to be able to make positions pretty quick from the back, or how do you feel?
I'm feeling quite confident today, actually. I've only been notified for this race about 2 hours, I think it was, before it. So I've had half an hour of practice and I improved my time by quite a bit. So, I mean, turn one with the start, I'm a little scared about with all the drivers, of course, right in front of me, trying not to hit them. But then, and then the hairpin later on as well, I'm a little scared about with all the other drivers as well, if I catch up. But other than that, I reckon I'm confident with all the other corners.
I love your optimism, mate, and I wish you all the best. And if you get a better result than P8, then that's the result, isn't it?
Thank you.
That's all good,
There you
mate.
go,
Well,
Dynasty.
yeah,
That's
enjoy the
everyone.
race, mate, and good luck. And yeah, hopefully you do good for the Mercedes.
Thanks, mates.
That's all right.
Oh, yes.
All right, so we've got this qualifying coming near the end of it. We've seen a lot of people, well, some people set medium laps, but a lot of these have chosen a soft. So I did see in the chat that someone thinks the cutoff point will be a 129.6. I think personally it'll probably still be hovering around a 129.7. Considering we're still seeing the 130s, and we see a 133 from Fish Lip, so I expect that to be a massive improvement come the end of this qualifying as we got 2 minutes to go. So still in the pits, Chevy Wolves, Peanut, and J-Man Diego. So they're more than likely going to be done and dusted, as I see Chevy Wolf's car is not in his actual box. Oh, he's coming in now. Never mind. But
I'm
who
just on
are
board
we
with.
thinking there's going to be a big fish out in Q3?
Yes, 100%. Faded Menace and Fish Lips
Yeah, Fish Lips just
Fish
went
Lips has
P7.
gone all the way up to P7 with a massive toe there, 129.435. I'm going to just interrupt you on here. We've got 1 minute 20 to go, Dynasty, and we've got White Wolf in the drop zone. Sorry, Milano in the drop zone. Iraq Lobster in the drop zone at the moment, a
He's in the pits.
129.944. David
He's
in
done.
the drop zone. He is out. Iraq Lobster. Breaking news. There you go. Write it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you've heard it. Iraq Lobster, the favourite of Division 6 currently, is out of Q2. David could be out as well if he does not put in a good enough time. China could be in trouble as well, even though he does have a purple in Sector 2. Faded Menace looks like he is done. He could be done.
He's done.
I
He's
think
spun.
he could be out. I
Yeah,
think
he's
he is
spun.
out. So, yes,
Paul and Hell
we're
is
going to have
also
two
taken
big fishes
wide.
out.
So Paul and Hell,
We're going to have two
that's
big
his
fishes now.
race over. He's qualifying over. Will China get through? China's coming down
Oh,
to the line. He gets pole.
oh,
So that pushes Edge closer to the edge. Excuse the pun.
I love that. Love it.
So
Hell
Fade
is
and
out.
Menace,
He's invalidated.
David is probably the only one who can improve. I don't think Milano will improve on those mediums. So it's up to Paul and Hell and Edge. David and Edge, who will get out in Q3 and who will move
Milano's
on.
out.
Milano will be out
He's
of
out.
the session. He's about to cross the line, so he'll finish his lap. But we'll go straight on board of Edge to see if he's improving. He is improving massively here. He's getting an absolute massive toe from this Red Bull right in front of him. He's nearly down a second on his time. Up or down, I don't exactly know, but he's improving. So that will put
I
him
think David's in trouble.
potentially into the P1 range if he doesn't run out of
Oh,
battery here, and it certainly does with a 128.5. And we'll go on board with David. David is the next one. He's improving as well. Can he get out of that drop zone? He needs to beat a
tight. This is going to be close.
129.4.
This is going to be close. We could see both Red Bulls out here, Dynasty.
He's gone purple sector 2. He is improving on his time by 0.505. So this will be very, very tight between him and Fishlips. He just needs to get this last corner correct. He gets it really good. He goes absolutely perfect. He needs to get the foot down. Do not run out of battery. He's ran out of battery, but will it be enough? It will be a 1:29.531. It's not
It's
enough.
out.
Not
Both Red
enough.
Bulls out. Wow.
And that is
Absolute
it.
drama there.
Yeah, so there you have
That
it.
is
Iraq
absolute drama.
Lobster, one of the fastest drivers, out in Q2. Our winner from last week, David, out in Q2. And Pool and Hell out in Q2 as well, with Milano and Faded Menace also joining them on the sidelines for Q3.
Yes, and if you can probably see in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news, Red Bull out of Q2. I've completely done that wrong, but oh well. Going from winning it to last week in Vegas, out in Q2. Both of them, as we know, they're very close on pace and they are both out. And obviously the biggest breaking news is Datura, as known as aka Iraq Lobster. 29.9, nearly 1.4 seconds off the leader. Dynasty, you would not be calling that in Q2, would you?
No, that's exactly right. He's unfortunately either had a mistake on his lap or whatnot, but there's your top 10. So you got Edge, Thunderbolts, China, White Wolf, J-Man Diego, Sick Putty, Woofer, Peanut, Chevy Wolves, and Fish Lips rounding out the top 10. So we still got a couple of teams left in the top 10. So you got double McLaren and a double Ferrari. The rest are the single drivers in the team.
Well, we've got some interviews, hoping they do jump in. We've got, hopefully, Datura, Paul and Hell, Milano, David, and Faded Menace. Please jump in and join us for a quick chat to see what went wrong in Q2. But we do have 10 lovely drivers, and they are Fish Lips and Peanut, the two Ferraris, Edge, the solo Mercedes, the two McLarens and Chevy Wolves, and Thunderballs, the solo of White Wolf, the solo of Woofer, the solo of China, the solo of Sick Party, and the solo driver of J-Man. And we're going to put a prediction up in the next couple of minutes on who is going to take pole position. And, well, for McLaren and Ferrari, this could be a very good Q3 because they will be able to help each other with the tow. The rest of them are all going to have to do it on their own, Dynasty.
Yeah, or they could try and benefit from the teams giving a tow, maybe get behind them and see if they can hang on and see if they can get pulled along and get the better time, because we've seen it happen here before. The tow is really powerful, so this pretty much hands it to both the McLarens or the Ferraris. Who can get it correct, or can one of the single drivers in White Wolf, Edge, China, Sick Putty, or J-Man Diego, or even Woofer get behind these two teams and see if they can get dragged along for that podium?
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. It looks like some serious quick guys in there, and obviously with the toe of Edge that he got early on, that pushed him up. Peanut and Fish Lips looking pretty strong as well. We've seen the McLarens.
And I'm seeing a
they're
four
doing
car
pretty...
tow right now. It could happen. Or a 3-car tow even.
Yep. But the problem is obviously Chevy Wolves does have that penalty, so he's really going to want a good finish. And I don't know if the team game's going to come in here with Thunderballs to try and get Chevy Wolves out at the top so we can get in free air and try and pull away from the pack. We'll have to wait and see there. White Wolf has been very impressive as well. Unfortunately, last week got involved in a few incidents. China, it's going to be really good to see on his full debut in that kick salver to see what he can do. Also, Sick Party, a very good qualifying from him down there in the Williams in P9, and J-Man John Diego, it's still a bit of a word, a bit of a mouthful. He's already done this race, Dynasty, so he already knows what he's got to do going into Q3. And the rest of them, wish them all the best. And really good to see Woofer come back after his wrist injury. Put it into Q3 as well, the other Alpine.
Yeah, it's good to see him back, obviously, after injuring his wrist. But, it doesn't look like the McLarens are doing the tow that much. Oh, Chevy spins. He's spun right around. So that will be his first lap done and dusted. I would say he'd be probably boxing to get off those softs, or he may be going to none and setting another lap. But we'll go on board with Thunderballs, who is completing his lap. So what are we thinking the pole time will be here, SJ? Do we think we can see anyone?
28.3.
Do you think we can see anyone in the 127s though? Is it
Mm.
possible?
It's gonna be interesting. It is gonna be interesting. Obviously, the track does ramp up very muchly in Q3, but the toe is where you are probably going to get those 27s. I don't know if any of these guys are going to be able to do 27s on their own on their own stint. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how much that track has ramped up as Thunderballs does cross the line and does a 28.4. So he's 4 tenths off or 5 tenths off at 27 at the moment. Then you've got Edge doing a 28.6. So 2 tenths between the top two at the moment. Then a tenth between Fishlips and Edge. If this is going to be the pace tonight, we are going to have one hell of a race on our hands with how close it is already. Just looking at the top 3 guys already with Fishlips, Edge, and Thunderballs Dynasty.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's going to be very interesting. So who out of these guys have used their old pairs, or who's used a new pair? That's the question as well. As we see, China sets at 129.3, and Woofer goes between them with a 128.899. And we've still got White Wolf on his lap, but we do have Faded Menace, who has decided to join us in the comms box. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good mate. Sorry, I couldn't get in earlier.
No, you're all right, mate. Obviously, how did your qualifying go? So you unfortunately knocked out of Q2, I think.
Could have been better. Could have been better. Yeah.
Yep. What is the strat going in? Are you just planning to go maybe try and go longer than everyone else, or are you still sticking to the same strategy that you are possibly on? Or yeah, just walk us through it. What's the plan going in?
Yeah. I think it's just going to be the standard two-stopper. I think a lot of people. I think I have a good feeling there's going to be a safety car come out at some point. So hopefully that's going to be my saving grace.
Yeah, nah, that's well, we don't want to really see a safety car, but it does spice things up a bit.
Well, no, but yeah.
Yeah, nah, I get what you mean. But I wish you the best of luck, mate, and I'll pass you over to SJ and see if he's got any questions for you.
Yeah, Faded, unfortunately, out of Q2. It is unfortunate. Your teammate at the moment in P9, Sick Party, I don't know if you've had much to do with him, but what's the morale between you and your teammate at the moment? What's the plan tonight for Bahrain? Obviously, it's been a bit of a difficult weekend for Williams in some areas. So what's the plan tonight for the Williams in round 4 in Bahrain?
I just keep it steady, keep it smooth, try and avoid any of the bumps and crashes that may come along, and see if we can slip through and try and gun for top 10 positions, the both of us.
Do you believe that the strategy is going to be the key here? We've seen a mixture of strategy. We've seen people starting the softs. We've seen people starting the hards. People starting the mediums. Like, what's you thinking? Are you thinking at the back is probably going to be in the best interests for you than the guys in the front? Because obviously turn 1, they're going to be in, everyone's going to be trying to get the lead into turn 1, and you can then just probably pick them off one by one if there is an incident. So the strategy is probably going to be the key, isn't it? Whatever you and Sick Party do.
Yeah, well, look, most people, when they're qualifying sort of mid to late in Bahrain, they're going to go, try the opposite and probably stretch the hards out and go on the softs to the end. But I'm probably going to start on the softs and see if I can sneak through in the early laps. As you said, people are going to be aggressive on these first turns, so let's see if we can sneak through.
You do believe that the plan, you've obviously had quite a few races now, do you believe the plan going forward is to try and make it into Q3? Is that going to be the plan for you going into next week in Belgium?
Yeah, it's definitely the goal. I think I've had a few races now, and I think I've made Q3 maybe once. So it's definitely the goal to sort of always be in Q3. Hopefully I can work towards that, towards Belgium. Belgium's definitely I wouldn't say it's an easy track, but it's a lot easier than Bahrain, that's for sure.
What do you think's going wrong in your qualifying? What do you think the mistakes you're doing wrong? Has your TP directed you on a few things you're doing wrong, or is it just you're just not comfortable?
Yeah, well, we've been practicing. A lot of it just comes down to nerves. I think I need to work on my battery strategies, obviously. On a couple of qualifiers there, I did run a bit short. on battery sort of halfway through my laps and that, which is obviously not ideal. I've been working on that in the last 3 races and not burning my battery out, so hopefully if I can just fine tune that and maybe work with my setups, I can sort of start feeling Q3 a bit more.
Yeah, quality's going to be very interesting because the way you've got to burn your battery because you want to try and set the fastest time, but then obviously when you're in the race, you're following someone behind, so you don't really need to burn it unless there's an opportunity for an overtake, then you can obviously use it. So yeah, it does take a little bit of time, obviously, to get used to the new battery on this game. It is very, very powerful when you master it, so keep at it, and good luck, and look forward to seeing where you finish.
Awesome, cheers, mate.
All right, Dynasty. Well, that is everyone. I don't
Yeah,
think we can get everyone else. I don't think anyone
that's
else is
all right.
going to talk. I think the Red Bulls
We
are
are
very angry.
closing in on the end of quali anyway, so that kind of works out perfect. Got 3 minutes to go, so I believe everyone will be coming out for their final laps. Chevy did set one, so that might be his one done and dusted. It will be his one done and dusted. He will not be able to get around and come back out again because he's out of fuel as well. So that will be his qualifying done. So 1:28.637 is the time to beat to get into the top 3 anyway. So we're seeing Woofer come out the pits, White Wolf come out the pits, Fish Lips come out the pits. Peanut was the first one to come out the pits, so he will be sending his lap really early.
Oh, he's invalidated! Chevy's invalidated! And that means he's going to be done and
Chevy was already done. Chevy was already done. He's out of fuel.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's out of fuel.
He's out of fuel. So he's coming down to the main straight, so he's going to be out of quali. I don't think he can get back out again within that time. Thunderballs is staying in the pits. He needs to get out before his teammate gets in. Otherwise, it's going to be it's going to hold him up.
Yeah,
2 minutes to go. It's not going to let. Oh, will it let him out? It won't. It will not. It's not going to let him out. He's going to run out of time to get around. So
just looking at Thunderball's pit lane at the moment. He is
not
stuck.
coming
There's
out.
a bit of drama. There's a bit of drama going on in the McLaren garage. What's the TP saying, Mr. ZK, Zach Brown? The car is in the way, so Thunderballs, I think we're going to see a retirement here from Thunderballs, or will he get out? He's got to...
He won't
20
make it
seconds.
around. He will not make it around.
No, he's not going to make it around.
Not with a cool down lap.
That's
and
it.
Coming out the pits, that's it. That's it. So a 1:28.491 is the time to beat by Thunderballs. Will we see anyone beat it?
Oh, he's coming out.
He's come out. It's too late. It is way too late. And I think they've realised
he's not going to get around.
He's not going to get around. As we see a purple from Peanut in Sector 1. So this has thrown a huge spanner in the works. As Fishlips come down into Sector 2, comes into the DRS, he gets the car turned really good, turns the DRS on, puts his battery on. He's burning absolutely nearly everything, so I don't know if he'll have enough come the end of this lap. He gets this corner near perfect again. Goes up to 6. Does he stay in 6 around here? He certainly does, as both Chevy and Thunder come out for their outlaps. I don't think they realise what time it is. As Fishlips coming down the back straight, he's got very minimal battery left to play with, so he needs to get this absolutely perfect. You do not want to reach the deployment use stage, otherwise your lap will be in the bin. He's got little by little. He'll get pole with a 1:28.390. The next one will be Sick Party. White Wolf crosses the line with a 1:28.499. Fishlips crosses the line with a 1:29.139. Actually, the next one will be the Alpine of Woofer. So White Wolf splits the McLarens in P3. Does Woofer improve? He's improving on his time. Does he get it enough? He does not. He goes P7. The next one is the Kickstart of China. He is increasing his time by a lot at the moment. Can he go pole or split the McLarens again? He'll go a 1:28.641 right behind. Him is J-Man. He'll go P4, pushing Chevy down. We've got Sick Party, who is next across the line. He goes P7, pushing Edge further down. Edge is the final one to cross the line. He goes P1 with a 1:28.070, and that should be the grid order. It will be the grid order.
That is the grid order. There you go, done and dusted. Hang on. Fishlips is the last car.
No, he's
Fish
on none.
Lips is the last
He's on
car.
none. He's on none.
Is he on none?
He's on none.
Oh, he's on none. Oh, he's still continuing. I got it wrong again.
Nah,
He's getting too excited.
he already set a lap and then he put it to none and
Oh.
and couldn't go again. So
Oh, that's a shame because I was watching on board. I was like, oh look, here we go. We've got more drama going on. But
there
yeah.
you have it. Well, not a big stuff up there by the McLarens. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate. When someone does come in the pits, it does hold you in the pits, unfortunately. So P3, I think they'll take P3 because it could have been a whole lot worse if we did see a lot more improvements. Like between him and White Wolves is 0.008.
Well, a very, very, very good start there for the Mercedes, which is very, very good. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. There is still a long way to go now in this race, and it's obviously some serious pace. And are we going to see Edge's first win of the season? That is the question. I don't want to talk too much because I know there is a Mercedes driver on my left-hand side, so I don't want to say too much, but that is a very good lap. But he's got some serious pressure behind him with Thunderballs and Peanut and White Wolf and the other Ferraris and Chevy Wolves as well. So he's got a lot of talent behind him. Can he deal with the pressure though going into this race, Dynasty?
Yeah, well, that is the real question because he has the ability, but we just need to see him put the whole race together to see him maybe come home with that first win. But I'd still be worried about Turo down there in P11 because he is a very quick driver on his day. But we've got Edge taking out pole position P1, Peanut P2, Thunderballs P3, White Wolf P4, J-Man Diego P5, Chevy Wolves P6, China in P7, Sick Party P8, Woofer in P9, and Fish Lips P10. So it's good to see Woofer got through all the way to Q3 with his comeback race. So that's brilliant to see.
Yes, it is. Very unfortunate, obviously, not to talk to some of the guys that jumped into the comms box, but thank you very much for Faded. Obviously, not a good night there for Paul and Hell, Milano, Tutura, and the Red Bulls in David and Paulie. So we'll remove that and we'll talk to the winner after this race. Right, here we go. So, yeah, it's going to be... Well,
I'll let you take away the start of this race, SJ, when we get going.
Why, thank you. Get too excited. Hopefully I get this right. Because I've got a few things wrong tonight. Big Ash, Peanut for the win. There you go. So he's obviously a big Ferrari fan. We've got 38 people. Get the viewers involved in Division 6, guys. Come on, this is going to be a fantastic race. We've had a serious battle in quali, and we're about to have a serious battle in the race. Here we go. We are going to see these guys out on track very, very shortly. It's looking absolutely glorious in Bahrain. It's a night race tonight. The track does look like it could be a little bit cold, but we'll have to wait and see. But the question is Edge going to be able to lead going into turn number 1? As we know, turn number 1 is very similar to Monza. It is one of those turns you've got to be very, very careful. As we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights at Division 6, round number 4 at Bahrain. And we are off down the main straight. Edge is in control. Is Peanut going to go for it? Doesn't look like it. It looks like Edge is going to lead the way. Then Peanut, then Thunderballs. Thunderballs goes round the outside of Peanut. They're going side by side into the first part of the DRS.
Chevy Wolves is around. He's off the track.
Number 2.
Chevy's falling down. Chevy is falling down the grid order as we speak.
He's dropped right back down. We're going to go back up to the top again. We've got Edge leading the way. A second out in front on them soft compound tyres. Then we've got Peanut. Then we've got Thunderballs. J-Man Diego takes a completely different route of Bahrain. Then we've got Woofer. Then we've got White Wolf, China, Milano, Fish Tips, David, Faded Menace. Then Paul and Hell, Wreck Lobster, who is looking likely to try and make his way through past Sick Party, going into Sector 2. Watch the front wing. Sick Party goes running outside, and there we go.
Good
Erect
racing.
Lobster is being squeezed. He cannot go anywhere. He has to change his direction and try and change the pass and the overtake, as they're still going side by side. Him and Sick Party. Nope, he backs out and he lets them have the position. We've got Sick Party in P14, Dragon in P15, Brainy in P16. Chevy Wolves had an incident very early on down in P17 on those medium compound tyres. Then we've got Lee down there in P18, Bulldog in P19, and Cooper on sticks on them softs in P20. But at the moment, Dynasty, Edge is flying out in front.
Yeah, he's not waiting for anyone. He's trying to catch them all napping. They're all having to burn their battery just to keep up and try and close in. But this is probably the strategy that he wants to do. He does not want to be involved in any incidents this week. And he knows if that gets right back into the pack, then there may be a couple incidents here and there. As we see Dragon and Sick Party fighting into the corner. Sick Party and Dragon going side by side into the first sector. They're still going side by side. They're giving each other enough room. Brilliant racing, and it's good to see them going side by side. We did see Milano pick up
Ooh, yeah, he's gone round again. Oh, he's lost the front bit of his wing. I think he's lost a bit of his wing. Or Lee's lost a bit of his wing. Someone's lost a bit of their wing. I'm just looking here. A little bit of damage. Yep, Chevy's lost the front right plate. Yep, front right plate gone. He's lost control, and he's, I think the other guys hit him. He's down to P18, so he's going to have to get onto those hards and push the long strap. Not the start for Chevy Wolves at the moment. Penalty already, though, Dynasty, for Milano down there in P9. But we've got some battles. Apart from Edge out the front, we've got battles all the way from Thunderballs all the way down to
Faded
Milano.
Menace. Yeah. So Faded Menace has unfortunately lost the DRS of Milano, and Fish Lips as well has lost the DRS to China. So there's gaps starting to form here. But yeah, as it stands, Edge is just trying to just keep away from the pack, and Thunderballs is trying to reel him back in. But who will blink first? Who will try and save that battery? And who will try and work together to try and drag them both together to get Edge back in? As Peanut looks like he goes for the switchback, but he changes his mind and just falls right back in it. That did look like a little bit of weaving there, but we'll keep going. China has a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a snap, but it's alright. He's still got the DRS to White Wolf in front, so he's keeping up with that top 7. And Fish Lips is currently trailing behind, but with a massive DRS train, well, down to Sick Party, and then there's even more people in that train, and then Chevy Wolves, Coupon Sticks, and Bulldog at the rear of the pack.
Yeah, no, going all the way down there, making that move on Bulldog into P19. Edge at the front on them soft compound tyres, the mediums against the softs. A lot of mixed strategies here. There's a lot of guys on the mediums and a lot of guys on the softs, and then quite just a little few there on the hards, with David, Pornhell, Brainy, and Bulldog going the long distance at the moment. 2 seconds in front of Thunderballs, 46% against Edge's 46. So same on ERS. You would think that Edge would have a little bit more ERS, being out in front, not having to use it, but he's really trying to pull away. He's already pulled away on that DRS gap already, but Thunderballs has got Peanut for comfort, and J-Man is behind him.
Yeah, they need to let J-Man pass. They need to let J-Man pass and let him tow this pack, because he's got the most battery out of that top 2, 3, and 4. He's got 90% compared to 16 and 19%. So yeah, he's not burning anything at all. Woofer as well, just biding his time. He's up 4 positions. What a brilliant start by him. White Wolf's down 2. China's stayed where he is. Milano's up 5. Brilliant start from him. And Iraq Lobster as well up 5. But that pack is 4.5 seconds now behind 7th. So all that battling, and the DRS is just losing him massive amounts of time, SJ.
Yeah, and Iraq Lobster just seems to be struggling on the amount of ERS. You got Fish Lips is on 73%, and Iraq Lobster's on 30% of battery. Milano on 17. He has drained a lot of his battery very early on. You want to be able to say that you do not want to be getting into the 15 to 20% of battery. It's an uphill struggle there. Milano goes a little bit wider. He lets through, and he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4 positions down into P11.
Almost 5.
Having
Sick
that
Party
step.
makes contact with him.
They're all going
falls
wide
in.
there. David goes on the outside of him. What a move there from David. Round the outside, says, thank you very much, I'll take that P12. Milano, though, having that incident, has put himself under extreme pressure from the rest of the pack. And that is not what you want to do at the moment. But at the front, Thunderballs is not gaining on Edge.
Yeah, well, it's just those soft tires early. Those soft tires absolutely create that gap. But it'll be when he swaps over to those hard tires is when he'll have the trouble, because he will not be in clean air as much as he is now. Because if he does pit, he'll probably fall in just behind Coop and Bulldog. So he would have to make his way through the pack on hards, which is pretty hard here. As Fish Lips and the Rock Lobster swap positions, but they've lost even more time to the cars ahead.
Yeah, but he's burnt so much battery. He's gone from 70% down to 36. So, yeah, batteries harvesting is not happening here at the moment. It's actually a 5.9 second gap between Fish Lips and China already on lap 5. That is a massive, massive gap. Now down to 6 seconds.
4, 5, and 6 have 100% battery pretty well.
Yeah, and top 7 are running away already.
And that's how powerful the DRS train is, and especially when you don't fight and when you know when to battle, when not to battle, because as we see, David makes a move on Milano now as well. So after that brilliant start from Milano, unfortunately he's starting to drop off. So we might see an early pit stop. He does have a little bit of a slide coming out of that corner, so he's got Dragon right behind him. As we see, Lee picks up our second 3-second penalty of the night.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have good control of those rears at the moment, and I think it won't be long before Dragon does get past him, but hopefully he doesn't get past him with an incident at the moment, as Milano does go round, rise a little bit of the curb there, and Dragon has a little bit of an incident as well, so we'll have to wait and see. They really would like to see Dragon finish in a high position. He's been very unfortunate the last few weeks. Quali hasn't gone to plan, the race hasn't gone to plan, but at the moment he's in a points position finish. We do have a change up front, though, Dynasty. Peanut is now in
fighting against Thunderballs. They're going side by side. He's got a lot of battery. He's in none, though, so he's going to get overtaken potentially by Woofer here, and he does. Woofer goes up the inside of J-Man, but does he make it stick? He does not at the moment. J-Man finally turns his battery back onto medium. He's back up to 100% battery. He's got a lot of battery to use against these top second and third, but as we speak, all of that battling, Edge is gone. Edge is not waiting.
Has a kick out there.
Oh, and we've got Paul and Hell.
We've got a yellow.
Paul and Hell is around at the back of the pack. He's let everyone past, and he's re-entered perfectly. That's good to see. As we see this whole pack. Someone, Milano's just falling down the pack. Those softs are absolutely cooked. He probably should be boxing about now, as we're seeing a lot of smoke from a car. I don't know if that was braking or someone's engine failing, but we'll go back up to the top. Edge.
No, the game's not that good.
Edge is absolutely just said, see you later to this group. He is not waiting for anyone. While these guys are battling behind, he is off and gone. But he, as I said, he will need to pit earlier than all the rest. Oh, Peanut could box the same time, but he will fall down into the pack. As you see, Dragon is getting passed by multiple people. He might have just been letting him by.
We've got past J. Well, there's a car park going on here. We've got Woofer, we've got Peanut, we've got J-Man Diego. J-Man Diego going side by side with the Alpine. He goes, move up. These guys seem very nervous on this racing at the moment. They seem to be moving a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. J-Man goes around the outside. Does he get the move? No, he doesn't. But they keep battling. They've given Edge a 4.1 second gap. Thunderballs has dropped that down to now 4. No, he's pushed it down to 3.9. Is that correct?
So yes, yep, there you go. So the mediums will start to kick in.
It.
Those mediums will start to kick in soon, but he just needs to get away from Peanut in this group to be able to try and catch Edge. But we did see Milano come into box for mediums. As we see, Peanut has gone absolutely wide. So that hands it to Thunderballs to get away now. And Thunderballs we might see run away from this pack, but Woofer managed to close that gap with all of that battery he has.
Doing phenomenal. P3 at the moment, in a great position. Milano has pit. He's gone on those medium compound tyres. Really struggling. He's actually left position as well. So we'll wait until he gets back and sends a message in, and hopefully we can get him back in. Edge at the moment in absolute prime time on those soft compound tyres. How long is he going to go? Let's have a look.
And Paul and Hell is left. That's our second one leaving
No.
the session.
I thought he was going to go into the pit.
So we're going to keep
that's
an eye on
2.
this. If we reach 3, we will be calling it. But White Wolf is in the box. 7 laps on those mediums.
Try and get them in.
Yeah, 7 laps on those mediums. So that's interesting. That is a very early pit stop for those mediums. But the mediums are pretty well similar to softs here. As we got Sick Party also in the box. Cooper stays out. There is J-Man and Peanut fighting. Coming into Sector 2. But they're just losing more time to Woofer and more time to Thunderballs as it is.
No, not at the moment. They're not online at the moment.
That's right, we'll try
and get Paul. I can't get Milano in because I don't know where he is online.
I'll quickly give it a go while we've got no action on track.
Hey, I've done Paul now.
That's right, I'll do Milano quickly, that's fine.
Alright, so while Dynasty's
Done.
doing that, we've got Woofer in P3. He's a second behind Thunderballs at the moment. Gonna lose that DRS, and this is not what you want. But we've got a battle going on here between Peanut, J-Man, and China. China now getting in the mix of this. By the way, this could all be for P3. This is big points up for grabs in this race on lap 8 out of 29. We've seen some phenomenal battles so far, and China is ready to get this done and dusted on those soft compound tyres. So he is on the same strategy as Peanut and Edge.
Yeah, J-Man has the superior battery though, so he can just burn to get away here if he really wants. Because unfortunately,
Peanut's gone into the pits.
Halfway down the straight, China has run out. Peanut is in the box, as we did say. But this has just created a big gap for Wolf, for Thunderballs and Edge now. So they're now just all cruising on their merry way. We've got Brainy and David up a couple of spots. They chose the hard tyres first, so they're going the long distance. You've got Bulldog on those hard tyres. You've got Paul and Hell, who's just joined back on those hard tyres. So good to see he's back in the lobby.
Yep.
I did invite Milano, so hopefully he can join. And we see Dragons in the box. He's changed to softs. And we've got red. That's Peanut. Peanut is off the track and he's beached. He cannot move that car. He's
done. That's it.
Trying to swap. You're in 4th, mate. Go to reverse. Try reverse. Oh, he's got going. He's got going. He's on.
Oh, wow. Never seen it.
That is a recovery and a half.
Well done, Peanut. Give you.
I'm surprised they didn't call a safety car out.
No,
I was stuck for that long.
He's lost it there.
On new hards, I think it's either come into contact or, yeah, he's just beached himself. But he's managed to get going again, which is a huge surprise. So who are we going to see now box? Are we going to see China, Edge, Coop, or even some of these medium runners box as Edge goes on for another lap?
Yeah,
China goes on for another lap.
To fall now.
Iraq Lobster's up to P6.
Yeah, he's doing very well. He doesn't look confident though tonight. Doesn't look like a confident one for him. A lot of ERS. Look at that. 13% ERS going into turn number 1 already, and China there on 27 or dropping down. It looks like ready to make the move. Cooper on 6 gets a 10-second for speeding in the pit lane. And what's happened there?
Good. He's just sped into the pit. Hasn't watched the time.
China is ready to pounce on J-Man. He is really trying to get that P4 position there. And J-Man's done this track. He done it last night, so he knows what he's got to do. But China is really putting the pressure on. The question is, these two keep fighting. They're going to let Woofer run away with it at the moment. Because he's 1.6 seconds between J-Man and Woofer. And Woofer's 2.4 seconds towards Thunderbolt. There's a big gap here between the front 3 at the moment. And, well... I'm going to put it in. Are we going to see a safety car, Dynasty? That's going to be the question. Let's have a look.
I think the gaps are starting to form, so I don't think so. It's too hard to create a safety car here, I think. The walls are too far apart. You'd have to do something crazy on the track to be able to get one out. That's for sure. As I was so surprised we didn't even get one when Peanut was stuck.
But he's done it again. He's done it again. He's gone off track and he's lost it again. Oh, it's so
He's got going
unfortunate.
again. So
He's
those
had such
he
a
needs
good
to
race.
cool those tires down and just chill
Edge
out
is
for a
in.
couple laps. And Edge is in. He is boxing for those hard tires. So that will put
So is
him
China.
probably in front of the Kick-Sauber and the McLaren if he does get out now. If not, he'll be behind the Visa Cash Up, but he does get out in time in front of the Kick-Sauber, so he'll be in a little bit of fresh air, which will be
Yeah, he's
behind
timed that
David.
well. He has timed that well.
China's also in the
well, and
pits. He's
China's done well
chosen
as well. He's going.
mediums, so he's going for the two-stopper here.
Okay. Yep, nicely done. They've done that well. Kick-Sauber in P13 and P8, and Mercedes in P7 and P17 at the moment with that 10-second time penalty. Thunderbolt's leading the way with 3.4 seconds out in front, and Woofer 3.3 seconds. Yep, is behind. J-Man though is very, very close to Woofer now. He is in that DRS. Iraq Lobster 2.7 seconds behind. Probably will start to rein that in. Every single driver in the top 5 all on 10 lap mediums, and I reckon they are all the ones, well actually the top 6 all need to stop. David on those hard compound tyres, so he is pushing a longer stint, which is very interesting to see at the moment. We still have 20 drivers in this race, which is great to see. Few penalties. 6 seconds for Lee, 10 for Coops, 3 for Milano. Is Milano back in? Please give us some comments. Please let us know in the comments.
I haven't seen
section.
him join,
He's
so
7.9.
yeah,
No, I don't think he is. I'll
he
see if
hasn't
I can get
joined
him
back, I
to.
don't think. Oh, I can invite him again after Woofer's now in the box. But yeah, as you did say, David will be probably going to about lap 20 and then potentially going on those soft tires. But he has Edge closing in the gap right behind him in P6. But also, don't forget, we have some carryover pens from last week that will occur in this race. So there might be a position on track that if someone gets close enough, they might be able to just take away that point from them. As Lee comes into the box now to swap off those mediums, so he looks like he'll be going potentially to the hards. If not, he'll be going for a two-stopper. What tyre will we see? We will see, I believe those are the hard tyres for Lee.
Trying to see if
As
he's
we
on.
go up to the top. Iraq Lobster's now in P3 with a couple of people boxing behind him. So White Wolf, Woofer, China all boxed earlier, so they will make up the position on him, but he is up a massive amount of positions so far. And we have Thunderbolts currently leading this race, but still needs to pit. So I would say probably within the next lap or two, he'll be boxing for those hard tyres to get them going all the way to the end. Same with J-Man Diego, who will be the one to jump into pits first and try to get that little bit of an undercut happening to the next one. And Fish Lips as well on those mediums, and Iraq Lobster on those mediums. So we see Thunderballs comes in. So does J-Man. Does J-Man get the speed correct? He certainly does. Does Iraq Lobster stays out? Fish Lips comes in as well. And he is going very slow into the pits. He hasn't even reached the line. That is a very slow pit entry. That would have cost him a lot of time, SJ.
Yeah, as you can see there, Iraq Lobster continuing out on those medium compound tyres at the moment. David in P2, but look who's behind him. Edge looks like he could be taking the lead of this race very, very soon. And Chevy Wolves is now in P4 after having a bit of an incident earlier on. Brainy up into P5 on those 12-lap hards. So a lot of these guys still having to stop, which is Brainy, Chevy Wolves, David, and Iraq Lobster, which then brings Edge back out in front. So at the moment, Edge is in P1 and White Wolf is in P2.
Yeah, so Edge just needs to bide his time here and just hold out. He's got the DRS next, so he can try and just work with David and then get past him.
Jumped.
White Wolf has jumped
Thunderbolts by 1 point.
And we got yellows. That is a Ferrari on a straight.
Got Peanut.
What is
Peanut again? Oh, he's gone to the wall. Oh.
So we'll just keep.
I think he may have lost his rears or something. I'll have to wait and see there. I think he may have lost his rears. Peanut just not having the race at all. It's so unfortunate because he had such a great quali, great start, and all of a sudden has just completely lost it, which is really unfortunate for Ferrari.
Yeah, and every time he spins those tyres, they are going to be absolutely cooked. As we got Iraq Lobster has called it a day on those medium tyres, so the one staying out will be David, potentially Chevy Wolves, but Chevy Wolves may box off of those tyres. We've got Brainy who stay out on those hards with White Wolf right behind him. So White Wolf will look to make the move on Brainy. And where will Iraq Lobster come out? He will probably fall right down the grid to just in front of this other Kick Sauber here in P8. He certainly does. He comes right out in front of P9. And Chevy
I
Wolves
think
goes on the mediums. That's an interesting
I think
choice.
Peanut's in trouble. I don't think he's got no front plate, because they're just on board, and he can't turn the car. He is extremely struggling to turn the car, so that left plate's gone. So he's going to have to come in, and I think we could see a retirement, which is very unfortunate for the Ferrari here. But we'll have to wait and see. He's 23 seconds behind at the moment. But his teammate in Fish Lips in P12 doing a really good position. Just really unfortunate. You get involved in a little bit of a spin, a little bit of an incident, and it's done and dusted. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he does continue.
This gap
He is 23 seconds.
has went to 11
He's 24
seconds.
seconds back.
11 seconds in front of White Wolf for Edge. So he is absolutely running away with this. But this pack is getting closer and closer. Brainy is up to P6, which is absolutely brilliant for him. He just has to stay out and hope for maybe a safety car late. Woofer is right behind him. He's going to be looking to try and make the move on Brainy maybe before the DRS detection point, just so he can keep up with J-Man. Diego is looking likely. No, he will not. He will stay behind Brainy as we come into the last corner. But we've got Thunderballs and White Wolf who will be battling it out up the straight, so we'll stay on board with Thunderballs coming down the straight. He is burning a bit of that battery, goes over to the right. White Wolf moves over a little bit, but does not stop Thunderballs from taking that position. So he is on the freshest tyres out of that top four. And that is Fish Lips going off the track, just to, Fish Lips, Peanut, sorry, to let people pass.
Well done.
Staying to the left, that's fine. Fine, he's staying out the way. Brilliant to see. It's fine. He's almost. I don't know what's happened there.
Bit of drama there for the Ferrari, getting in the way of everyone. That could have been curtains there. I think he missed his braking point and went straight through the gap. It's very unfortunate there. Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, he's even catching up to the other guys. He will do because he is on fresher tyres.
Did he fix that wing as
letting
well?
him go.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yes.
That was Brainy who's let him go. So I don't think he realised that he is actually a lapped car. So the more he stays in front, he'll start getting pens. He'll start blue flagging him.
Yeah, he will.
And it's going to start racking up, and potentially we're going to be looking at a DSQ. He just needs to, unfortunately, move out the way and hope.
We'll just keep an eye on that Ferrari at the moment.
Yeah, so we'll go back to him. I think we're going to see a pen soon. As long as he doesn't miss his braking zone.
Blues are flashing.
Blues are flashing, and he'll probably come up this straight. He'll probably get a 10 second. No, he does not. He's putting to the left. No, he does. Don't know what he's doing. He's half and half. He's staying behind. He might try to unlap himself again, which is not the right idea. Just stay behind. Get out the way. Brilliant. That's good. He's got out the way of both kicks out. He's let them run.
He's catching up to him again. I don't know, we'll just let them run their own strategy, but we'll continue on at the front. Edge in P1, 5.455 seconds. If this man is going to be calling a day to win this race, this could be the day, unless that safety car does not come out. Still time for it though on lap 16 out of 29 at the moment. David in P2, very good start for him in the last couple of races, but he does have to come in. That is the question. He could undo his race very, very quickly because he is the only car, I think, that has to come in.
Not Brainy as
him
well.
and Brainy
and
Paul and Hell
Yep.
and Bulldog.
Yeah, so all of those. And Dragon. Dragon cannot go another 13, 14 laps on those softs. They will be blown up. So expect the likes of Bulldog, Dragon, potentially Chevy Wolves. That's a pretty long stint on mediums if you do choose to stay out. He also has a lingering pen over his head for this race, so this is just probably one race to forget for him. But everyone else looks like they'll probably go to the end now. China, questionable fight, 6 lap old mediums. you'd be pushing 19 laps by the time this race is done on those mediums. So he's potentially not in a good spot as we speak with those tires. As I just saw the Ferrari go really wide and overtake. As you see, Dragon has called it a day on those softs, so he's the first one. He'll be boxing either for mediums or for hards to the end. It is the medium tyre. He'll be going right to the end now.
An interesting strap by some of these guys, but we've got a lot of the guys on the hards that'll be able to go to the end. We've got a few of the guys on the mediums. We've still got 3 guys still having to pit, as in David, Brainy, and Bulldog on them 16 laps. We saw the guys of Damino and Maria Yu go the longest stint on those hards yesterday in Division 5. They got out into them softs and they did do a very, very good undercut. They managed to get through most of the traffic and try and get it onto the podium. Unfortunately, only one of them managed to get it on the podium in the end. I think it was only just Maria Yu. So is that going to happen tonight? We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, Edge is going to be very, very close to 10 seconds in front at the moment. And
He's
if a safety car does come out,
11.1.
it is going to undo everything. So, yes. But in the background, you can see a little orange dot. That is Thunderballs. He is catching up to David on those 17 lap hards. How long is David going to push those tyres? Is he waiting for those yellow flags? Is he waiting for that safety car to come out, the green or the red safety car? We'll have to wait and see. Is here. We've still got drama happening. We've still got overtakes happening. We've seen Peanut go off check a few times. We've seen a few little late manoeuvres from a few guys. So we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, it is looking likely that it's going to be advantage Edge and advantage Mercedes on lap 18 and a 29. Back to you, Dynasty.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go though. But yeah, David unfortunately still needs to pit. Brainy still needs to pit. I think China will have to pit, and Bulldog still need to pit, and Paul and Hell as well need to pit. So all of those drivers probably need to come in sooner rather than later to swap off those tyres, because the longer they go, they will be undercut and basically take so long to catch the field back up again. But I would say the strategy for David here, he's already gone 17. He'll probably go to about the 20 range, then go to softs and push that car to the end. He'd be probably looking at hoping for a P8 finish, I would say at best, because I think that pit stop will push him probably down to about Chevy, the back of Chevy Wolf's there, and he's on fresh tyres as well.
Quest for fastest lap. Well, I can jump on board it, but I think Dynasty has to because he's running the stream tonight. And the fastest lap goes to Thunderballs with a 1:31.703, which is not far off from White Wolf. So who is going to get that? I think that will change. We'll have to wait and see at the moment. Going to jump back off
Paul
the fastest lap though. Go. Oh, okay. White Wolf is putting the pressure on J-Man. So he's 5.5 temps. It's 11 lap hards versus 6 lap hards. So White Wolf has found another gear in that car and is putting the pressure on that Haas at the moment. You've got a Rack Lobster though. He's now putting the pressure on Woofer as 5.5 temps. So we've still got a few battles going on through the pack. We've also got Faded Menace putting a real good pressure on Brainy. And he said earlier on that he actually started in P15. He's up into P10. He's in good points position, and Brainy has made 8 spots at the moment. Brainy is having a fantastic night. He still has to pit though. He's on 18 lap hards. You do need to pit. You've got 10 laps to go.
He'll probably, I don't know if he'll match the Paul and Hell box, because Paul and Hell just boxed for new mediums, so he's picked the time to box right now, and David has got Thunderballs right behind him. So will David come into the box now as we start lap 20? It looks like he'll continue on, so he's hoping for that late safety car and maybe gain some positions late. He's got J-Man Diego's catching up to now Thunderballs and David, because the longer Thunderballs stays behind David, the more time he'll lose to Edge, so he'll need to make that move as soon as possible down this straight. He'll need to put the battery on, put the burners on, and get past. He goes to the right of David. He gets side by side. He does not. He pulls out of it. And Brainy has called it a day on those hards, so he's coming in probably for mediums at this. No, he's softs. So we could see a potential sorry, not a safety car, a fastest lap here from Brainy. But he's in the points, so that's a good thing. He should come out just in front of this Harsam Alpine battle potentially. Oh, they're going to go free wide. They're going to go free wide. Brady's there. Oh, there's a spin. Bulldog has
bit of
been
drama there.
spun,
Bit of drama.
but they keep going. This is good.
That's did anyone gain anything there?
I don't think so. I think Lee was probably the one who got inconvenienced the most, I would say. Bulldog, Brady, I think, gave the position back to Bulldog, it looked like. So, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that would be investigated after the race. Speaking of investigations, though, there hasn't been much at all. Which is really good to see.
That's probably the first one of the night.
David calls it a day on those hards, so he's now swapping to softs and potentially going for that fastest lap as well. So, where will this put him? He should put him just in between the Williams, I would say. Both pairs of Williams, or if not, just behind Chevy Wolves. But he will be the fastest car on the grid for these last couple of laps.
He's gonna come into traffic though. He's gonna come right in the mix of it because here comes Fish Lips, here comes the Williams, here comes the other Williams, and Lee's got a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately, for multiple warnings there. So David's right into it, and Chevy Wolves right behind him as well. So and Chevy Wolves, has he lost his front right plate? Yeah, I'm just looking on board the McLaren.
Did he ever fix
it?
I
think he has.
No, he's still missing it, so he may not have fixed it.
Isn't it? Or he may have lost another one.
Bulldog is now in the pits as well. He's swapping off those hards. He's going to the soft tyre. He doesn't have wing damage, so he'll be trying to set that fastest lap as well.
Yep. Well, we got a battle for P3 at the moment, and it's between White Wolf and J-Man Diego, and it's 13 versus 3, and White Wolf is doing a great job trying to hold on to J-Man on those old tyres. Every single person has done a stop now, so this is it. This is going to be the final stretch. The question is who's got the pace? Edge out in front. Doesn't look like we are going to get a safety car, unfortunately, so if you have voted yes, you are going to lose a lot of points. 22,000 of you have said yes, 28,000 of you have said no, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. No problem for the fastest lap there, Protein Group. But here comes White Wolf coming down the main straight. Alright, Lobster is 4 seconds behind on those 8 laps.
China is pitting as well.
No one is seeming to gain any time at the moment. I'm just seeing a lot of DRS swapping. You know, you look at the front, you've got Thunderballs on 9 laps, 12.4, not really gaining any time on Edge at the moment. J-Man, not really gaining any time on Thunderballs.
Milano
White Wolf is staying there. Oh, Milano has joined. That's really good to have you back, my friend. J-Man Diego and White Wolf. That's going to be a mistake.
That's an interesting strategy. He should have went for the softs and went for the fastest lap because he definitely has the pace to set it. But we'll go. Actually, I'll check that because it's changed.
So what are you doing?
Thunderball still has the fastest lap with a 1:31.703. So are we going to see maybe David try and push for that fastest lap? He is using a bit of that battery, so he's probably waiting to get into the DRS before he starts trying to set it. Brainy as well, who's on soft, so he's on none, so he's going to be trying to work together with his teammate to get pulled along to keep the position from the Red Bull in P15. Coop on sticks does have a 10-second over his name, so we'll go to penalties. So you got Lee has 9, Milano has 3, and Coop on 6 has 10. I know there's a couple carryovers, as I've been saying, for a lot of drivers that will be obviously added after the race.
I think we're going to see David in P7. I really do. He's on the best tyres. He's got hardly any tyres to go. And there you go. He goes to the fastest lap with a 30.937. He's even going for the move on at Faded Menace into turn 1 on their soft compound tyres. Going side by side. Softs versus hards. Gets the job done. Faded Menace is going to come back at him. Ooh, could have got a little bit squeezed there. But got the move done up to P8. And I think David will finish P7. I don't think he'll get Woofer. He's 10 seconds down the road with about 4 or 5 laps to go. at the moment, and White Wolf has just dropped out the DRS of J-Man. Let's have a look. Has he? Yes, he has.
Yes,
And
he has.
Woofer is, I think might have been
closing in on
overtaken by
Iraq.
White Wolf.
No, it looks like he's closing in. He's got 80% compared to 70. But, I mean, it could be possible that David can catch Woofer here. There's still got plenty of laps to go. He's on brand new set of softs. You'd be gaining at about 2 seconds a lap for the first couple of laps. So there is potential for maybe a last lap battle. But, yeah, it's going to be really close. But he's got the fastest lap. He will get fish lips hands down. But it's whether or not he'll be able to catch Woofer and maybe Iraq Lobster for that P5, P6 range, SJ.
Yeah, well, we're becoming very, very close to driver of the day at the moment, and this is a tough one. It's an interesting one for driver of the day. I don't know. I'm going to put this one to you. What's your thoughts?
I'm not sure. There's probably a couple who do deserve it. So I'll list 3 names. So I'm gonna go. Hold on, if I find it. So I think the couple of names I'm thinking. You've got Faded Menace, who's down in P9. He's made up 6 positions, kept it clean, kept it tidy, and pretty much hit the goal of good points for Williams. Iraq Lobster, who's up 9 positions, has had a really good race. No one here has been in any incident so far, other than I did see there was a lap 1 incident, but obviously not sure who was involved. And I think the third one it's hard to go past is how dominant Edge has been. So I think those 3 have had really great races. And even Brainy's first time back, or even Woofer's first time back after, for example, Iraq Lobster picks up a 3 seconds, so this could help out David.
That's not driver of the day there. That's gone.
If he can catch up 6 seconds, 6.5, that will gain him an extra spot. He needs to put that foot to the floor. Or maybe no,
it's between. Who's yours? We'll put it in the chat. We've got 25 laps now, so.
I am gonna go with Woofer.
Okay.
I think that's a good race to come back and put it into P6 after having a broken wrist or arm, I think it was. I think he's done well to do that. I know Edge has been really, really dominant. But it is hard getting. I know it's definitely hard getting that movement back in and getting that feel of it back after doing an injury like that. And that it's pretty good to put it up in the P6. So I'm sure the Alpine TP would be absolutely stoked with that.
Yeah, well, there you go. We've got 4 laps to choose your driver of the day. We have Dynasty that's going with Woofer, and I'm going with Faded Menace. We'll have to wait and see. I have to wait and see what happens. Yep, he has done well. But you put your names in, and we'll see what happens with the poll. Right, okay. So 26 laps, 3 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Get your names in for driver of the day. Obviously, myself has voted for Faded Menace. Dynasty's voted for Woofer. And we'll have to wait and see what is going to happen. So you've got 3 laps to get your names in. So get them in, get amongst it. Edge is leading this and looks like he is going to take it.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I think it is, like everyone in the chat is saying Edge. He has kept it pretty much from lap 1. He has said, see you later, I am off to Belgium. And has not looked back.
I know. I think Woofer's done a great job as well, though, coming back, and I think Faded Menace has as well. So we'll start to put a poll up in a second when we get to around about lap 28. So get amongst it, get your votes in. But at the moment, Edge is looking to take the win out here. It does not. We're going to. As soon as this goes up to lap 27, we will not see a safety car, so we will be able to bring that prediction in. David, at the moment, is still in P7, and it looks like he is going to get, well, he's got fish lips. He's now going for Woofer. Is he going to be able to get him? That's going to be the question. He's got 8 seconds to make into 23 laps. I don't think it's going to be done.
No,
but
the tyres
you
will be
never know.
probably cooked by then. They're already 5 laps old. He needs to absolutely get these next couple of laps correct. He just has to catch his 3 second of a Iraq Lobster. So even if he puts it within 0.5 of Woofer, he should get Iraq Lobster. But you'd be absolutely having to push that car to the absolute limits. But I'm pretty sure he'd be happy. I'm pretty he had the fastest lap and P7. That's pretty good points for the Red Bull. We've got a battle here
Well,
between
there you
White
go.
Wolf and J-Man. And China has just taken Coop on sticks, so they're going to go side by side. Oh, he's turned in a little bit too early there. So has not given enough room. So I don't know if we'll see a hand back position here from Coop to China, but he is not given the room allocated when they were side by side.
Poll is up, ladies and gentlemen. Poll is up. So get your votes in, and let's see how we go. 27 laps out of 29 at the moment, going a little bit down at the bottom. Let's have a look. We've got battles going on here. We've got Brainy fighting up against his teammate. Now, that would not go down well. Oh, Brainy having a little bit of a snap there. He's got no one behind. 5.2 seconds there for Paul and Hell, who is going to get the last points, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see. Therefore, Lee, he has got that pen. Dragon is in P17 at the moment. So can Paul and Hell catch Brainy? Can Brainy overtake his teammate? That's going to be the other question, as China is putting the pressure on Cooper on sticks. And we saw Cooper on sticks get that penalty earlier on. Still is at 10 seconds. So we could still see Lee. I don't think we are going to see Lee get banned.
He's got 9 seconds himself. So I think that's pretty much your order. Well, he will fall down to P15 as we speak, unless Paul and Hell has a massive moment. But China will get him after pens, or if not on the straight coming up. As we go back to the top, so White Wolf and J-Man with Iraq Lobster right behind him, P5. So he's caught the back of this train for the podium. Can he maybe get past and run away by 3 seconds and put it on the podium here, SJ?
No, well, we're going to have to wait and see.
That will be a track warning.
It will. This is going to be a great battle between White Wolf and J-Man. White Wolf has literally been behind J-Man most of this race tonight. So if he can pull it off and get that P3, it's going to be interesting. The question is, what does J-Man do? Does J-Man just let him go past and try and, get him back on the next lap? Because it's going to be strategy now. It's all about strategy, how you're going to time this, because this is going to be the question. It looks like Edge has got this. Thunderballs, a very good, impressive race from him as well, showing his consistency at the moment at the top, which is good to see. Edge looks like he's going to get his first win. I think we are going to have maybe a few swear words when we interview him, or a very few... or a very loud noise of congratulations. We'll have to wait and see. But this is the one. This is for P3 Dynasty. And this is White Wolf versus J-Man. And Iraq Lobster could get involved in this as well, even though he does have that penalty. We're on the last lap. This is all about P3.
Yeah.
We
don't know. We'll keep going, though, as he's got the pen. But White Wolf and J-Man will be fighting this to the absolute death of the race. Iraq Lobster makes a move on White Wolf, though. Moves up to P4, so puts it between them. Chevy Wolves gets speeding in the pits, a 10 second, and he's called it.
He's retired.
He was in the points as well, even with that penalty hanging over his head. He was still in the points.
That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I don't know why he's retired there.
Because he still would have been in front of Lee, even with that pen hanging out, and that means that pen will have to go to the following race, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. Unfortunately,
yeah, that's not so good.
No, but look at this. Iraq Lobster is all over the back of J-Man Diego. And White Wolf is just waiting in the wings for a mistake. Edge does win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Thunderballs is going to look like to take a
Flashing
P2.
skill
Who
as
is
well.
going to take P3? He's still got it. Is J-Man going to be able to hold on? Because if Iraq Lobster does get that 3 seconds taken away, Iraq Lobster's going to go for the move. White Wolf, he's moving over.
There's
Who's going to
weaving.
get his photo finish?
Oh, that might be a report there. That was very interesting. I caught that as well. So that will be investigated further. But yeah, there you have it. Edge in P1, Thunderballs P2, J-Man in P3, White Wolf P4, Iraq Lobster P5, Woofer in P6, David P7 with the fastest lap, I believe. I'll just get that confirmed. Yep, he has the fastest lap. Don't think no one can take it now. China, Coupon Sticks in P11, but he will fall behind both of the kicks and potentially the Red Bull as well. But he will finish in the P14. Go to intervals as well. As that's the Aston around at the back. So Lee's coming to the line. He'll get home in the points because Dragon has spun behind him. So he'll stay P15. So that's a good 1 point for the Huss. Dragon will come home in P16. Bulldog P18. Peanut P19. And unfortunately Milano with that early DC in P20. He did join back, but unfortunately was probably about 15 laps too late.
No, he could take control of the car, so he will get 1 point. Edge does get DOTD. So congratulations, that went to Edge for the vote there. 60%, Faded Minutes 27, and Woofer 13. What a race. Again, no safety cars, so we'll get rid of that prediction as well. So unfortunately, will we see a safety car? No, we didn't see a safety car. So congratulations to whoever's got 50,000 points. Remember, we don't advertise gambling. It's just a bit of fun. But who is going to get that? I just want to see who is going to get that. Oscar Piastri got 50,000 points. Jeez. That's a serious amount of points. But Dynasty, summary of events tonight, mate. What did you think of Division 6?
A lot cleaner than last week.
Scroll down.
There was a couple incidents early, but apart from that, everyone kept it clean, kept it tidy. Again, probably a couple incidents caught late as well, but for the most of it, it was a lot cleaner than what Las Vegas was. So hats off to Division 6. They have done well. But yeah, that is your order. So you got Edge and P1, Thunderballs P2, and rounding out the top three is J-Man with White Wolf close behind in P4 and Rock Lobster P5. David taking home the fastest lap of the race. But we will move straight over to these interviews. We will start with the man in P3, and that is J-Man himself.
Hello, guys.
How you going, mate?
Really good.
Really, that's good to hear. So, walk us through that race. So, you went the mediums, I believe, to start with, and then went the hards. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I went for. Like, I had that planned out before the race.
Yep. And how did you feel the tyres were at the end of the race? Did you feel they were a bit cooking at the end, or you probably could have gone a couple more laps, or?
The hards were completely fine. It's the mediums that slip.
Yep. Well, that's good. And at least you bring home P3 on track, so that's good to see as well. And I'm sure your TP will be absolutely over the moon with that result. And obviously, looking toward Belgium as a team, have you got many practices going, getting ready for that next week, or is that pretty much like a next weekend type scenario to get done?
Well, yeah, we're going to be practicing, and well, all of us are going to be working hard and improving so that we can do well, and then we can take home like wins, podiums.
Well, that's good to hear, mate. I'll pass you over to SJ and see if he's got any questions for you.
J-Man, obviously you've had 2 bites at the cherry, mate. You obviously had a go last night, and you obviously knew what Bahrain was all about. Anything you did differently from last night to tonight?
Nope, it is the exact same. I had the exact same game plan.
And what was the game plan?
it was to pretty much just cut down time on those hards because I feel like I was just like faster on them. Like even in that Div 5 race, I just felt like I gained like 4 positions on the hards. It was like 4-3.
You believe that strategy went to plan? You believe that you had the pace? So it was all
Yeah, it
overall a
went
good
well.
night?
Yeah, it definitely went well. Only thing was I did get held up a little bit in the opening laps, but what can you do? I'm still happy with the result. Really happy, like my first podium, my first good result. I'm really happy to bring it home to the team.
But you just missed out, didn't you, last week with Vegas with the penalty?
Oh yeah, it was a tough one, but I bounced back and I'm P3 now.
That's two close photo finishes, mate. Is there? Have you got anything you want to say to us? Do you like putting us on the edge there? We saw a Rack Lobster and yourself. We saw a little bit of a weave though, so I don't know if that is going to be investigated by the stewards. But you've done 2 photo finishes, one in Vegas and one in Bahrain. Are we going to see another photo finish in Belgium?
Well, it looks like we'll have to wait and see. I do love to put on a show for the spectators here.
Oh mate, a great job, fantastic job for Haas as well as the team, and you're obviously showing some consistency, which is really good to see. Do you believe that you can, on some of the tracks in the calendar, or even next week, you can take it to the front runners at P1 and P2?
Yeah, I feel like I can. If I keep this up and we'll the whole team, we just we lock in and we focus, we practice, we just do well, and all of us we can do well.
Well, mate, I'm really happy for you, mate. It's good because you're a brand new driver as well, so it's really good to see that you're committed and putting in the time and effort. And when you put the time and effort, you get the rewards, and you've obviously got that P3 tonight and a very good performance where you did have some serious pressure from White Wolf and obviously a Rack Lobster on that last lap. So no, congratulations, mate, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week in Belgium.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
You too, mate. All right, that was our P3 in J-Man Diego. We'll now move over to McLaren, and I'll let SJ kick us off with this interview with Thunderbolts in P2.
Thunderbirds! Thunderbirds!
How you going, boys?
I call them Thunderbirds. You'll probably get the gist. Thanks, Dynasty. Mate, what an interesting night. Probably from your point of view, you may probably say you're a little bit disappointed because you would have liked that win. Give us a bit of a heads up on obviously the start of the race, because it looked like a lot of guys tonight felt a little bit unnervy on Bahrain, but Edge didn't. So what was the difference between you and Edge tonight?
It started in Q3. I just didn't time leaving the pits correctly. A bit of a letdown. I couldn't get my screamer lap in, but is what it is. And then just was behind Edge at the start of the race, going into T1. Carried it a little bit wide, car was a bit heavy, and just got caught up in a battle for P2 longer than I wanted, and Edge just pulled away on those softs. The mediums faded really quick, and yeah, I just worked them too hard too quick. But after I got on the hards, it was pretty nice, to be honest. The hards are good here.
A few mistakes tonight. You would say that that didn't need to happen, but did happen, and that we are human.
Got a little bit hairy on the mediums towards lap 9, 10. Was doing my best Tokyo drift around a couple of corners, but managed to keep the car pointing forward, which was good. And I'm glad I was able to pick up P2 for the team. Shout out to my TP and the team. We practice, and as you know, SJ, we put in work. So I'm happy with the result. Congrats to Edge and J-Man for getting on the podium as well, and Edge for the 12-second win. So yeah, what a drive he had. What a drive.
Yeah, it did seem that the Mercedes had the pace on us, aka McLaren, tonight. Do you want to talk about something which probably is going to be mentioned? Chevy Wolves obviously had an incident very early on and was very unfortunate, but then retired, but was sitting in P10. Can you give us a bit of an insight onto that?
Chevy. Okay, so we lost comms with Chevy probably on lap 5. I don't know, his Xbox just cracked it and said no more Discord for you. When he went into pit, he didn't alter the pit strat, so he put on a second set of mediums. And I think due to the incident and then having to pit with like 1 lap to go to not be disqualified, he DNF'd, which is a bit disappointing because unfortunately now he's going to carry over that 10-second penalty over to Spa. So we're going to have to work to try and mitigate that 10-second pen.
Oh, okay. So obviously on the double stint on the same tyres, which obviously you need to change his tyre strategy. So that's what the problem was. We were trying to work it out, me and myself, to be honesty. Thunderballs, mate, as always, a great start. You've got to be really, really happy going into round 5, Belgium, with some serious points. You're up there. Obviously finished higher than Iraq Lobster tonight, who is one that is up there at the top at the moment. So, no, congratulations, mate. Look forward to seeing what you can do in Belgium. Let's go, McLaren. And let's pass it back
Let's
to
go.
Dynasty.
Thanks, SJ.
So if it isn't the man with the sexy voice, so I've heard from the comments from everyone. Pretty much all of the questions I was going to ask have been asked by SJ,
I'm
but
sorry.
no, it's okay, it's okay. Obviously, you were talking about trying to work together in Belgium next week to minimise the effect of Chevy's penalty. We do know that Belgium is a big track, so obviously, if it comes to it, are you going to try and maybe let him run away and you try and defend like a lion, or is there any strategies moving into next week that you can maybe improve as a pairing to see if you can become a dominant force to be reckoned with in Division 6?
You know, that's a great question. We didn't plan on Chevy DNFing, and it was going to be served here at Bahrain. So there's no discussion about how we're going to mitigate the penalty come Spa next week. So we'll have to sit down and work out what we're going to try and do, get some practice in, and hopefully don't bin it in Eau Rouge, you know?
Yep, no, that's a fair call, but yeah, that's it from me. But well done, mate, on your P2, well deserved, and as you did, like every week, you've kept out of trouble and just kept prodding along, and you're pretty much the one to beat, really, in this division.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, try and keep it clean. Like, I can't thank my TP and the team enough for the amount of work they helped me with. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone and all the Twitch viewers. Thanks for tuning in. And, yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
It's all good, mate. Well done on your race.
Thank you.
Alright, we will move over to our P1 and the driver of the day in Edge. How you going, mate?
After that performance, amazing.
Very good to hear. So, walk us through it. So you basically straight away said, "See you later. I'm off to Belgium."
Yeah, look, it probably wasn't exactly the way I was thinking of going. We were more just sort of taking it lap by lap. The initial plan was burn on the straight, stay in front for that first corner, and then sort of balance out what we need to do there. Unfortunately, obviously, Thunderbolts did get caught up in that battle for P2, and that kind of just extended the gap, and we kind of just decided on lap 1 and 2, I'm just going to burn as much as I can to break the DRS. And, you know, massive shout out to Pep for keeping me grounded throughout that race, making sure that I'm not necessarily making any mistakes. And we were still sort of keeping an eye on the gap that we had, but the whole point was just sort of head down, go fast, and drive your heart out.
Nah, brilliant strategy by obviously you and the Mercedes boys in the garage. But obviously looking toward next week, I know you've put in a lot of practice for this week. Obviously we're looking to do the same and try and build on that and see if you can get back to back, or what's your goal for next week?
I mean, back to back would be nice in regards to that one. I think we've had 4 winners in 4 races now at this point, so being the first driver to do the double would be a massive achievement for both the standings and for our performance as a team. I think it's no secret that the 4 people in the comms box at the moment are a part of the teams challenging for the overalls, so it's always good to get one up on the McLaren boys. But no, they've done well, and I think they're going to be my threat for Spa, especially Thunderbolts. He's pretty quick around there from what I've heard.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear, and it's always good to have a bit of rivalry going on and good banter between the teams. But I'll pass you over to SJ and see if he's got any questions for you, mate. Well done on your race.
Okay, well, I've been waiting to have this interview with this person for obviously a while now. The amount of times he's missed out in championships, missed out on races, and tonight, obviously, just everything just faultless, just no problems at all. Everything spot on, strategy. Even your Q3, you took pole position. It was touch and go at first because there was obviously some very, very quick laps. But take us through a little bit of Q3 of how you managed to get that fast lap. Was that to do with the toe, or was it just on your own?
No, it had nothing to do with the toe, which I think was what we were surprised about because I was trying to see if I can get onto the back of someone to do a toe, and we kind of were searching for where Thunderballs was to see if I can try to slip behind him because we did see at the start of Q1 we had Thunderballs and Chevy doing the toe brilliantly and working as a team, so I was just trying to catch up to the back of that with my teammate being knocked out. So that was kind of the plan for Q3 and the last runs, but there was no toe of the sort, so we kind of just went, let's go as fast as we can, and pulled out a 28-0. So kind of came as a shock to my TP, I'll be honest.
Well, it's impressive. It's impressive because obviously we found out earlier on when we spoke to Thunderballs, who finished in P2 tonight. Obviously they got it a little bit wrong in the pit lane. And do you think that may have? I don't want to put it down on obviously the quality. You won the race, which is fantastic. But do you think it might have? You think it would have been quite close between you and Thunderballs because we know that McLarens are quite fast and Thunderballs has been up there. Do you think that that extra stint would put some pressure on you to get that P1?
Yeah, look, in regards to Thunderballs, he's always been quick, and I think we've acknowledged both in Rush and other leagues that we do race in, we are each other's challenger. So when I put in that lap of a 28-0, I luckily had known that Thunderballs wasn't sitting a lap, but if he had, I reckon he would have gotten pole, and it would have been a very interesting battle into turn 1.
Yeah, which is like you said earlier on for people in comms is McLaren and Merck. I'm just going to give you a bit of an update just on pending results plus pending penalties at the moment. The league standings that you've actually jumped Thunderballs now. So it's Datura on 84, yourself on 83, and Thunderballs on 75, and David on 62. Are you thinking that this is going to be a 3-horse race till the end, or do you believe that it's going to be some other guys that are going to join the party?
Look, it's probably too early to say that. Obviously, with the 4 people you have mentioned are all race winners here, right? So it's probably too early to say it's a 3 or a 4-horse race. I know Thunderballs and I have joked around in a couple of rounds, basically saying that we're just focusing on battling each other, and the results will come from that. But I think it's too early to call people out of the championship because you never know what can happen.
Well, on other news, mate, congratulations on a fantastic win at Bahrain. It's really, really good to see you take out that win. I know you've mentioned in the space of the last 3 weeks that you've been pushing and been a bit disappointed with not taking that win, but you're taking it now. Going into Belgium is a very interesting track. We know we've seen a lot this season in Division 6 and across all the divisions. In full quali, the toe is very important. The next race and in quali, are we going to see the same? Hopefully you get Ski back because obviously we know that he's a great teammate. This is nothing against Cooper. It's good obviously to have fresh faces, but obviously your teammate has scored some massive points lately. Are we going to see the same sort of thing we've seen this week in Bahrain and Belgium?
I mean, we'll probably see after we've done some practice. So I've got a secret weapon for Belgium. And I've had that, and once I saw it on the calendar, I knew I had that secret weapon, so it'll be good to finally be able to use it and actually be able to show how much I can improve on just Belgium alone. I know you and I have had some good battles around Belgium in some lobbies, so I think you know my pace in Belgium, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're passing that information over to your team to give them sort of an idea of what we're looking at, but as I've mentioned before, I'm not a qualifier. I'm definitely a racer. So I'm more looking towards the race and qualifying.
Yep. Okay. Well, like you said, it is early days. Round 5 next week. 15 more rounds to go. And it's been a great start to Division 6, mate. But congratulations on Driver of the Day and also P1 winner of Bahrain.
Cheers, mate. It's been a pleasure.
G Dynasty.
Well, there you have it. There was our P1N driver of the day. So it's been a great race and a lot better than what Vegas was. But that will wrap things up here. Obviously, thanks to our sponsors in SimLab, Pagny, and AI 369, and I think the other one is a new one in New Zealand, which I cannot remember.
Speed Nation.
Speed Nation as well. But I was your host, Dynasty Sparrow, and I was with SJ on my left. It's been a great night, and I'll let SJ say the final goodbye.
No, I'll let you take it away because it's actually been asked for a quote of the race. But no, thank you very much to all the viewers tonight. We've got more action tomorrow night with Division 3. Last race of the week. Probably people are now starting to say is the most competitive division. A few changes on the grid though, which is going to be very interesting to see. But everyone this week has been a fantastic race. Unfortunately, myself was not the best, but we won't go on to that. That will be mentioned in the podcast later on in the week. But no, tonight's been great. It's been great to be back on the comms box, and tune in for more action tomorrow night. And I'll let you take it away for the quote of the race.
Quote of the race. I actually have nothing. I honestly have nothing. You could ask me last week.
Oh, okay, let me do it. And he said he was going to win it. Edgemeister won it. Good night.
Ciao.